what is self-doubt and why can it be so completely destructive to your confidence? And then how can we recognize it in ourselves? And then how can we overcome it? That's what we're going to talk about today. This is episode 68, the Crazy Confidence Coach podcast. And this is an episode all about overcoming your self-doubt. Welcome to the Crazy Confidence Coach podcast. I'm Heather Edwards, and I happen to be one of your biggest fans. I'm here to help you become the most confident, vibrant version of you. Look, confidence is not a one and done. It is a constant journey. In this podcast, we cover tips and tricks and ways that you can build your confidence so you can go out into the world with your bold, audacious self. I don't know about you, but I want to live life to the fullest, and that's what we're going to do. So make a choice right now that you're going to be willing to do what it takes. Grab your notebook and your favorite pen and get ready to take notes. Let's go. Throughout life, we just encounter different situations and circumstances, and we will feel either really confident in our ability to handle them, or we have this self-doubt and it prevents us from doing what we need to do. So that basically means we don't believe we've got it covered. Every single person experiences both those positive experiences and the negative ones, or the ones where we don't think we have it covered. That's what makes this episode so completely relevant to every single human. The great news is that when you address your self-doubt, you automatically build more confidence. So it's a win-win. Deal with your self-doubt and come away stronger, more resilient, and more confident as a person. Then comes the tricky part. It can be really difficult to recognize when we're experiencing self-doubt. It can be cloaked between other behaviors that aren't really related, or at least we think they're not related. So that's what we'll focus on today. We're going to talk a little bit more in depth about the sneaky ways self-doubt appears and what we can do about it. As always, grab your favorite notebook and pen because today you might learn a thing or two, and I'm hoping that you're going to recognize the behaviors in yourself like I did when I learned more about this topic, and you might just want to write them down. Here we go. First and foremost, self-doubt is not confidence. I know you're probably saying, yes, Heather, that's obvious. What may not be so obvious is how self-doubt gives you an excuse not to try. Hear that again. Self-doubt gives you the excuse not to try to do something. That is horrible. What do you have self-doubt about? Just pick one thing as you listen to this episode and see if you can recognize your behavior hidden in some of the behaviors I talk about. Self-doubt appears as being unsure, or a better word might be by creating hesitation inside of you. What does that look like? It can look like delayed action, overthinking, perfectionism, or not getting started because everything is not perfect yet. This one is bad for me. I like to have everything laid out, everything ready to go, and all the pieces ready to be perfect. This is something that my mom could tell you I have suffered for a long time in my life. I can remember getting screamed at as a teenager when my mom just would tell me, "You think everything has to be perfect." And it's true. I do kind of suffer with that. But here's the thing. This is a cloak for self-doubt, and it gives you the excuse not to try or delay taking action. What is the answer to this? It's being okay with taking small steps. So we've all heard that you can't eat an elephant in one bite or something like that. So take small bites. With those small bites, you learn and you grow, and then you build your confidence along the way. This is what I do. I take the time to write down all the steps that I'm going to need to take in a big project or a big goal. And then I take those little bitty steps and then I put them in the calendar, kind of backdate them into the calendar to help me get to the big end goal that I want to do. When I actually do my yearly planning out, I use this exact process. If you want more on this process, I have a free tool that you can use. It's the Plan Your Success tool, and it will walk you through this exact thing. back to the self-doubt, when you're in that caught up mode of not wanting to do it, it's because you are literally using it as an excuse to not take action. So stop using it as an excuse and learn how to do what you need to do. For example, if you want to lose 10 pounds, when you write down, I want to lose 10 pounds, and you don't have, maybe you say, in 3 months, I want to have lost 10 pounds, and you put it on the calendar that way, it's super overwhelming, and you are really likely not to do it. So the way to do it is to take the action-oriented way of doing it, and that is make a list of the things that will help you lose those 10 pounds. So here's a list. For example, drink 8 glasses of water today, walk 7 steps each day, work out for 15 minutes a day with weights to build more muscle, eat 40 grams of protein each day. That would be approximately 13 grams each meal. Eat 2 servings of greens per day. Take probiotics and digestive enzymes each meal. Obviously, this is all hypothetical, so don't evaluate it too much. Just understand that these steps can be put into your calendar either daily or weekly or however they would work. And that action that you take with these small things helps you hit that goal of 10 pounds. Your self-doubt will go down. You become more confident because you're taking action on something. That is how you take care of the self-doubt of being unsure or having hesitation. You put it into smaller bites and then take action on those smaller bites. Another way self-doubt can also look is by hiding or playing small. When this is your way of doing self-doubt, it means you're driven by fear of others, or maybe you just are feeling overwhelmed. So ways that you might recognize this in yourself, self-doubt can be masked as procrastinating, becoming a recluse, or staying at home all the time. Maybe you avoid a lot, or you tend to make yourself small. So how do you address these behaviors? Figure out where you're playing small. What areas of life are you procrastinating? And then what are you afraid of? Really get to the nitty-gritty of what is causing the feeling of overwhelm or fear, and just be super honest with yourself. Is your fear based in truth or overblown ideas in your brain where you're making it worse than it really is? And then again, challenge yourself to take small steps instead of procrastinating or hiding or playing small. Don't worry about doing everything at once when you're super uncomfortable, but pick one or two things each week or each month to focus on that will help you come out of your shell. So put small things on your calendar and do those, or decide to go to an event if you're someone who likes to play small and be at home. Or maybe you play big by joining a group of somebody who does some kind of event or sports that you like to do. Whatever might pull you out of your normal way of doing things. It's going to help you build confidence if you allow yourself to be uncomfortable. I promise you. It feels weird. It feels counterintuitive. But little by little, as you get more in touch with what is actually preventing you from doing what you need to do, you're going to begin to do more of what you should be doing, and you will grow exponentially with your confidence. Consider your thoughts, because that's what's critical here. Your thoughts are actually what's driving you. So make sure that you are keeping awareness around your thoughts, you're paying attention to what's true and what's not true, and to gain that confidence and overcome your self-doubt, you want to take small actions that counteract the thoughts that are creating the self-doubt in you. What's preventing you from playing bigger and being the best version of yourself and keeping you hiding away. Stop hiding away and just step out there and do a little bit more here and there, and over time, you're going to really be able to be more confident. One thing here that I think could be extremely helpful is engaging a friend or family member to help you. So if you need to get out of the house more, or if you're always playing small, maybe you have a friend help you come out of your shell by doing something with you. You take a class together, or you go to a book club together, or you do something that is going to pull you a little bit out of your normal comfort zone. Being comfortable keeps you hiding, right? Whatever is going to keep you from hiding is what will help you build your confidence muscle and lessen that self-doubt in that area. The next way you might recognize self-doubt in yourself is by being hypercritical. This is one of my most used smokescreens, and I am not proud of it at all. But here's the deal. It's a shield for action. When you are finding yourself being hypercritical or figuring out ways you shouldn't or you should do something or why you can't or you couldn't or you don't want to do something, oftentimes, it's this fear of being hurt or disappointed and failing. Behaviors that you might recognize in yourself or engage in, if this is you, is something like complaining, being self-critical, or just simply being negative. And this can also be seen with somebody who just is hyper-focused on what isn't possible. One of the things that I really like to talk to about with my clients is when they're talking about what isn't possible or all the things that are obstacles, what I will often do is drag them into what is possible. We focus as humans sometimes on what isn't available to us, and that is a self-doubt behavior or self-doubt characteristic. Question, have you ever spent time talking to yourself about all the reasons something isn't possible? This is a classic way to keep yourself from taking action, and it is a classic self-doubting behavior. If this is you and you want help figuring a way to ditch negative self-talk because you probably have a pattern going, the way to become more confident is to heal that pattern and to figure out a way to do it differently. I absolutely help people do this because, believe it or not, this is something I have been working on with myself and healing that behavior for years. I absolutely know it's possible for you too. So if that's what you want, that you want to stop doing this, you want to fill that self-doubt with confidence, you may need someone to kind of walk you through how you can stop doing that thing, creating why it's not possible all the time. My goal when I'm working with clients is to help them figure out why it is possible and help them create a path to possibility. If it's you and you want to see the possibilities, let's get you coaching and make that happen for you. Then the last way that we can talk about how self-doubt shows up, it shows up through helplessness. And helplessness is something that feels like you're just not worthy or you have feelings of insecurity. And really and truly, it's just this fear of success. The behaviors you might notice in yourself are not trusting yourself, being maybe dependent on other people, playing the victim, or maybe even blaming yourself or others for something that isn't going wrong. And I tell you what, when I'm looking at teenagers, I feel like teenagers do this a lot. Consider, do you spend time lamenting that nothing ever goes your way? This is something that may be indicative of the fact that you suffer self-doubt through helplessness. The most effective way to stop helplessness through self-doubt is by taking responsibility for your own actions and for yourself 100%. Find ways that today it's true that you already take care of yourself, because I guarantee you already do things for yourself a million different ways. How have you demonstrated self-care and self-preservation already in your past? Make plans today for how you're going to deal with it if you find yourself feeling helpless again. One of the things that I've noticed with someone who feels helpless is maybe they've encountered something that was something they couldn't control in their past. In this case, it's so important to remember that this isn't the case with everything, and maybe you need help getting through that trauma or that experience, and that might require therapy or help from a friend or a family or a coach. Whatever it takes, deal with that particular case, but also don't allow that self-doubt from that particular instance to bleed into the rest of your world and your life. Consider right now to stop giving away your power by being helpless. Find ways in little bitty steps that help you become more independent. Pay attention today to every little single thing that you do for yourself, and then take time to celebrate it. That's going to reinforce that behavior for yourself, that you're capable, that you're able, and even though you feel helpless and insecure today, it's okay. You can still do things for yourself. You can still take action. And each time that you do this builds your confidence and you lessen your self-doubt. So just remember, you are capable of not being helpless. You don't have to depend on anybody else around you, and you can depend on yourself. And if you can't depend on yourself, it's because you haven't taken the action that you need to, and you have the ability to actually change that. And it's a choice. You choose to do it or not. So today, I want to end today with a little homework for you to do. So when you push play today on this episode, and the episode is all about self-doubt, you knew that, I asked you to keep one thing in mind as you listen to the episode, something that you felt a little self-doubt around. So I want you to bring that up still. I want you to consider it. And I want you to think about writing yourself a note, or not thinking about. I want you to write yourself a note about this self-doubt that you feel. Name one benefit you have by doubting yourself in that area of your life. There is a benefit to not doing something that you want to do. I know that sounds strange, right? But there is a benefit to not doing something that you want to do. It could be that you get to be more comfortable and not work really hard toward your goal. It may be, for instance, if you want to lose weight, the benefit may be that you get to eat all the foods that you want, or you don't have to drink water every day. That's the benefit of not losing 10 pounds or not doing what you're supposed to do. So you're going to write down the benefit there is to not doing what you want to do. What that self-doubt is allowing you to keep or hold on to. Then I want you to consider, what are you giving up by holding on to that self-doubt? So imagine your hands being there, closed over whatever it is that you are holding on to, what we talked about before. What are you not doing, something that you want to do? What is the benefit of that? And then to have the other side of that coin, to have confidence and all that self-worth, you have to let go of what that benefit is, right? So I want you to consider, what are you giving up by holding on to that self-doubt and not doing what you want to do? Think about someone who is single, and maybe they want to find someone to live their life with and fall in love with. So something that they might be benefited by not seeking that person is to not risk being hurt or not risk losing love. But by not risking and not reaching out to find someone, you don't ever get what you want, correct? So it's seeing that yin and yang, or the other side of the coin, doubting all the things that you can get and not being willing to go after them is what's keeping you right where you are. Be honest with yourself. What is the opportunity cost of holding on to your self-doubt? And what is it preventing you from taking action on? What is it keeping you playing small for? What is it keeping you being overly negative about? And how is it keeping you being super helpless? None of this can be permanent, or has to be permanent experiences for you in your life. And you absolutely have the choice today to do life differently by playing bigger, focusing on the positives, taking small actions, and reaching those goals. Finally, by taking 100% responsibility for your actions. And let me tell you, if you do that, you'll find all of your self-doubt kind of disappearing. And the other piece of it, you have more confidence. You've got this. I know that you do. All you have to do is make a choice to have it. If you want support and guidance, my coaching programs are 100% tailored to you. We focus on what it is that you need, and we get you feeling more confident. We get you taking action. We figure out why you don't take action, and the most efficient and the most viable way for you possible. So if this is you and you want to get rid of all that self-doubt and you want to reemerge being confident and healthy and ready to take on the world, go sign up for coaching. What is stopping you? Anyway, I wanted to say thank you for hanging out with me today, and I hope to see you next week. Take care. Thank you for hanging out with me today. I hope you learned something fun. Please take the time to share the episode with your friends. If you haven't already, leave a rating or review. That is so helpful for other people just like you to help find the show. And if you are looking for freebies, I have lots of fun freebies for you at hcedwardscoaching.com, and you can sign up for a discovery call there, Or, of course, you can sign up for coaching. Again, I appreciate you. I hope you have a very blessed week. See you next week. Love you big.